Welcome to Volunteer Journal. I'm your host, Walter Black. On Volunteer Journal, we introduce you to some of the persons who are improving the quality of life in our community through their involvement in volunteer-based programs. In a few minutes, we'll meet representatives of an organization that provides furniture to persons who are living with extreme poverty. It's called the Houston Furniture Bank. But first, we'll learn about Covenant House Houston, a nonprofit agency with a host of services for runaway, homeless, and otherwise at-risk youth. Please stay tuned. Welcome back. Our guests on this segment are with Covenant House, and they are Carolyn Gerard, Public Relations Specialist, and Derek Callicutt, Resident Advisor. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Carolyn, I'm aware that this is, we're coming close to sort of an anniversary in the history of Covenant House. So let's back up for a second and explain how long Covenant House as a concept nationally and internationally has been around, and then segue to Covenant House Houston.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yes, we're coming up on 30 years at Covenant House, Texas, but we are part of an international, actually, organization. There are 21 Covenant House sites, and they started in 1972 in New York. Anywhere there's a large city with a large population of homeless youth, that is where Covenant House goes. We have 3 or 4 in Central America, a couple in Canada, and then the rest are in the United States in populous areas.
Very good, very good.
And yeah, we're very excited that, 30 years and we've been helping and providing sanctuary for these young people for that long.
Well, let's talk about what the mission is for Covenant House.
Well, of course, the mission is very simple. We try to show absolute respect and unconditional love and provide all the services that these homeless youth need, because obviously most of them haven't had a foundation of a strong family foundation. And they're looking, we have to build up that trust with those kids because they're not used to trusting people. And so we try very hard to show them that they're their own person and we're here to help them any way we can to make them self-sufficient adults. And we have lots of programs, obviously, that help us do that. Of course, we have short and long-term housing for these young people. They can stay at Covenant House for 18 months and work and go to school and really get their life on track. And then we have apartment living after that for them, that they can stay for a year in the apartments, and then at the end of that year, they can sign the lease and it becomes theirs. And of course, all the programs that we have medical care there, we have counseling, substance abuse, and mental health counseling there. We have job development. A big focus at Covenant House is education and job development. We have 2 staff that partner with companies in the Houston area to help our kids find jobs and keep those jobs. So we try to really help them just become the person they want to be. And if they need some education, we always like for them to get their high school diploma or a GED. And a lot of our kids actually are working and going to HCC at the same time while they're at Covenant House.
Excellent. Well, that belies what I think may be a partial cliche when it comes to Covenant House. I think a lot of people in the community think it's sort of a halfway house. Kids are in, 2 weeks later they're out. And everything you said points to the fact that there's really in-depth treatment, for lack of a better term, of the kids while they're at Covenant House, what's appropriate for, I guess, the individual needs. And that's great. Well, let's talk a little bit about the kids. How many can Covenant House manage at one time?
We have 60 to 70 young people there every night helping them. Some are there, you know, like I said, for a short period of time, but we want them to stay as long as they need to for us to help them. And I need to mention also that in that population includes pregnant and parenting youth.
Oh, yeah.
They can bring their children with them and stay there and have their babies, and we help them find housing and placement and help them with services after they have their child. Or if they just have 2 or 3 kids and want to bring them there, and we help them, you know, find services and help them then locate, you know, to a place, a permanent place to stay.
Yeah, I would think dealing with some of those issues would be very challenging. Now, you mentioned, and we'll talk maybe about some of the other program components in a little bit more depth, but you mentioned the medical care. And as I was browsing the Covenant House website, I saw a reference to, I was impressed, that you have your own clinic of some sort?
Yes.
Could you flesh that out a little
Yes,
bit?
we have our own medical clinic. The kids, we have Baylor students that come in there. We also have a full-time doctor. And then also the director of our medical clinic is a pediatrician at Texas Children's Hospital and has been the director of the medical clinic for over 25 years. So we have excellent care. They can, you know, get all the tests they need. Now we do have to refer them out, you know, at some times. And the nice thing about our medical clinic, and actually all the services at Covenant House, you don't have to be staying there to avail yourself of those. If you're a child, a young person between the ages of 18 and 21, you can come to Covenant House and we will help you with life skills, with job development, the medical care. All of our services are free to any young person between 18 and 21. Of course, we'd love for them to stay on campus so we feel like we can really help them that much more if we have that much more contact with them.
Sure. Well, just kind of closing out the medical side, I saw on the website too that AIDS, unfortunately, has to get a fair amount of attention at Covenant House. How big is the incidence of AIDS?
You know, not that much. We do the testing there, and of course it's all confidential. We don't know, you know, what kids may be positive or whatever, but we want to have that available to them and, you know, refer them to the places they need to go if they, you know, do need medical care for that. But we do the testing and help them, you know, find other services that can help them.
Sure. Well, Derek, let's turn to you for a couple minutes. You're the resident advisor, so you're the person who sees and works with the kids close up.
That's correct.
So let me ask you, well, 1 or 2 dry numbers questions first, and then maybe we'll get a better feel for, once again, who these kids are.
Okay.
What percentage is male versus female?
Well, we have 66% male, 34% female, and that comes from, you know, different races and all walks of life. But that's what we service: 66 male, 34 female.
I see.
Yes, sir.
And the cutoff age for the kids?
Age 21. You can come in maybe at 20 years old and 63 days, but on the day you turn 21, you're not able to come in. So we'll service anyone that's really, you know, up until that point. So we try to help them as best as possible.
Of course, some of our kids have been there a couple of years just so they get in under 21.
Right.
Then they can stay there till they're 23 or however old they want,
Right.
taking advantage of the programs that we have.
Sure, sure. And just before we went on camera, Derek, you and I were talking about the fact that the population of kids at a place like Covenant House, of necessity in the real world, has to be diverse.
Right.
And yet the population, the general population, that maybe is very, I don't know, concerned about the kids at a place like Covenant House, unfortunately has stereotypical views of what a population at a place like Covenant House is.
Right.
So could you address that a little bit? the rich diversity of the types of kids and the types of problems that they bring to them.
Well, when we say types of kids, we're talking about different financial backgrounds. We're talking about different races of kids, different education levels of children as well. And so that's really a whole amount of numbers that we're playing with. We have them come from different parts of Houston. The first thing is that we want you to know that we have a lot of kids from different parts of Houston, the Heights, Acres Home, 3rd Ward, 5th Ward, Cashmere. They all come from different parts, so they all have this significant amount of percentage that come into Houston. That we also have some who come from out of the state, maybe like Louisiana, Michigan. We've had an influx of kids from Michigan recently, and looking at their financial situation from there, it's kind of flushed a lot of kids who are already struggling in a state that's, affected by financial problems. They're coming down here thinking that they can find maybe some betterment. So, when they come, we don't turn them away. We do the best that we can to try to help them. And so it's really diverse, really extremely diverse.
Sure. And I guess so many of the kids must have family problems. Is there like a program component that addresses that and maybe facilitates the kids' returns to home or getting back to home?
Right. Well, we compile a lot of things. We have a mental health therapist. We also have professionals who come out, and we try to do family reunification. We teach them life skills. Maybe there's some things that in their life they may be missing, and their parents have been trying to tell them for years. Maybe it's a personality thing, maybe it's an education thing, and maybe they just don't have a work ethic. So we try to teach them that with all the different staff that we have, and help make them better than what they were before. Does it always work? Well, maybe they are not able to go back home, but they do become a better person. Later on, that family member, mom, dad, whomever, see the fact that they have changed and that their child who they thought was wayward and hopeless actually becomes somebody productive in society. So this is something that we really pride ourselves on in Covenant House, and helping them become better than what they've ever thought they would ever become. And so it's rewarding in all the efforts we do.
Very good,
Yes,
very
sir.
good. Well, I know that Covenant House has a very live and well volunteering program, and I guess we'll have to rely on the website to flesh out some of that because we're just about out of time. But let me, in closing, let you, Carolyn, give the website of the agency and the phone number people could call if they'd like to follow up.
Yes, it's covenanthouse.tx.org, and our phone number is 713-523-2231.
Very good.
And yes, we do use lots of wonderful volunteers, and we have lots of great events coming up. So we would love to have anybody come out and take a tour and meet our kids.
Wonderful.
Anytime, we're there.
Very good. Well, thank you both. While we allow our next guests to take their places, we're going to tell you about some other volunteer opportunities. Please stay tuned. Love, sweat, and cheers are in abundance when persons with developmental disabilities vie in Special Olympics competition. Volunteers help make this possible by serving as coaches, scorekeepers, referees, and huggers during these inspiring sports events. Competition takes place on weekends at locations throughout Greater Houston. No experience is required. For more information, call Volunteer Houston at 713-965-0031. Lives can be saved through your involvement with a program that channels badly needed medical supplies to third world countries. You can support the program by helping sort and box these items at a warehouse near Westheimer and the West Bell. The work is simple and doesn't require a great deal of brawn. Shifts can be scheduled for weekdays or weekends. Call Volunteer Houston at 713-965-0031 for further information. Help the homeless by volunteering at a day center near Broadway and Park Place in Southeast Houston. Depending on your preference, you can help check in clients in the morning, prepare breakfast or lunch in the facility's kitchen, distribute towels and hygiene items in a shower area, or assist with laundry. Volunteer time commitments can be flexible. For information on this and other volunteer opportunities, please call Volunteer Houston at 713-965-0031. Welcome back. Our guest on this segment of the show is Oli Mohammed, the Executive Director, and I should say founder, of the Houston Furniture Bank. Welcome, Oli.
Thank you, Walter, for having me.
Well, and maybe I should tell the audience that I had the honor many, many years ago of serving on what was the founding board of the Furniture Bank. It's been a long time since I was associated with it, but I've always felt proud of those years, and I'm pleased to have Oli here to talk about some of the experiences during those early years.
Yes, Walter.
How did the Furniture Bank get started?
Well, as you may recall, that it's in 1992 when MHMRA of Harris County was doing a supported housing program, and we needed housing for people with mental illness that was coming out of the state hospitals. That was the initial thrust for this, providing housing. So when we were providing housing, we found out that the people that are moving into the housing has no furniture, they're sleeping on the floor. Mm-hmm. So that is the starting point of the Furniture Bank, to provide furniture to the pilot project was for 140 families, 40 clients of MHMRA. And fast forward to today, we have served about 23,000 Houston families.
Wow.
With furniture in last 21 years. This is the 21st year of the Houston Furniture Bank.
Uh-huh.
So you should be proud to be on the founding board, founding advisory board.
Oh, certainly,
Yes,
certainly.
yes, sir.
And I'm glad you kept the name Furniture Bank. I remember there was a little bit of argument back and forth in the early days, and I was on the side of keeping the name, and so I'm pleased that the agency kept the name and has succeeded so well over
Yes.
the years.
So from then on, what happened with the Houston Furniture Bank is since 2000 up to 2003, from 1992 to 2003, Houston Furniture Bank was a part of MHMRA of Harris County. And in 2003, when all the budget cuts and everything was going on, MHMRA did cut the Furniture Bank loose, and we then became a separately independent non-profit 501c3, and since then it's been a uphill battle, but we are here, and we are here to stay and serve the community as long as needed. So,
Well, I remember from my involvement that the people in the furniture industry really helped you out at a couple levels.
Yes.
They served on the board, and they also, at times, were sources of leads on furniture. Let me ask about that last point. Where does the furniture come from?
furniture, I mean, this is really, I have to go expand this on a little bit.
Sure.
Our main furniture source is individual donations, but then also we have hotels, we have furniture stores, and all that do donate to us on a continuous basis. Some furniture stores more than others, but there are the involvement of the industry is getting bigger and bigger every day. So that's one positive point. And what we have found out, that Furniture Bank is certainly a social service organization, and what we do, our tagline, our mission is to make empty houses homes. So in doing that, what we had been doing for the last 20 years is really a recycling and reuse, which has later on became a trend in this country in last
Oh, yeah.
20, that reuse and recycle, everybody understands the need for it. So Furniture Bank had been a reuse recycle organization for last 20 years, but recently, for last year and a half, we are really focusing on that strength of our operation also. So what we are doing is we got into, every year the amount of furniture we give away. On an annual basis, we serve about 1,500 families every year, which this year we are hoping to do it close to 2,000. And within next 5 years, we want to be able to serve 5,000 families every year. And we are really en route to achieving that goal. And that's, so in the meantime, Furniture Bank has really expanded its operation in terms of recycling. So our latest initiative that we have taken is called Mattress Recycling Program. So the Mattress Recycling Program is, as it sounds, we recycle mattresses. So what we do, we take mattresses that is soiled or broken or not usable by anybody else, be it bed bugs or whatever. So we take those mattresses, we tear them apart, we take different parts like the topper, foam, and the metal, and the wood. We separate all of those. We bale the toppers, the cotton on the top. We bale the foam and sell them to people who use it for making things that are that they could be used for. And we sell the metal to the metal recyclers. And we are using the wood to do two things. One is there is a group of University of Houston students that are volunteering to build furniture from those wood. Every week they work one day, but they're building table bases or bench, and one of them has started building a dog house from the wood that's coming out from the box springs. And we are also planning to mulch those, about a huge number of wood that's going to be mulched, and we'll maybe distribute it for free for whoever is in need of mulch. So what's happening there is every mattress that we take out of the landfills, and mind you, in the Houston area, landfill operation is a huge operation. In an estimated 650,000 mattresses goes to the Houston area landfills every year. And that's 23 cubic feet on an average per mattress. So if you do the math, it would come out to be every year we're filling up 2 of those Reliant stadiums and leaving it for thousands of years to be taken in by Mother Nature. So that's what we are doing to our future, and we cannot do that. We as responsible citizens, we really need to stop that, and we are in our way of doing that. Now we are doing maybe 100, 150 mattresses a day, and by the end of this year, we want to do 1,000 mattresses a day, recycle 1,000 mattresses a day. That is, even if we do 1,000 mattress recycling every day, we work 365 days, we still not even at the 50% level. So really, we need to really get to work on that. So this, we are really hoping, and we are developing this as a social business. So what will happen is mattress recycling otherwise would not be a profit-making or making any money kind of option, because the money that you make out of those selling the parts is very little in terms of the labor that's involved. But fortunately, as a non-profit, we can use volunteer groups, and we also have an agreement with the community service, Harris County Community Service Program, where they send us people that are doing volunteer at the Furniture Bank, and we don't have to pay. So that is where we are going. We are hoping to. We have started making money that goes to running the Furniture Bank. That way our dependence on asking for donation from people is going down. So we can become a self-sustaining non-profit. That is the model that the Furniture Bank wants to establish, that non-profit organizations does not always, not all the non-profit organizations like the Furniture Bank does not always need to put their hands out only to give me money.
That's
You
right.
give us resources, we'll make it into money and make it work while we save the environment. That is really the model on the mattress recycling program.
Is that being done elsewhere in other
It was
locales?
originally mattress recycling started in Eugene, Oregon.
I see.
St. Vincent de Paul Society of Lane County in Eugene, Oregon has started this 16 years ago now, and they became so successful in doing that. They do 10,000 mattresses a month. And what they are doing now is from a very small program, they have grown. Eugene has, they are giving they've started all kinds of housing program, job placement program, all kinds of programs that they have started. But they got a grant from Robert Wood Johnson Foundation to expand that program in 3 other U.S. cities. And they had picked Houston Furniture Bank and one of them, and they came here and consulted with us, gave us the ropes, and then we had our manager that manages the recycling plant has gone there and did some training for 2 weeks. So that is what we are modeling this after.
Very good. I see we just have a couple minutes of time left, and I'm fascinating with this program. I didn't realize this was so cutting edge. But anyway, I think in the remaining time we need maybe to speak a little bit about volunteer opportunities.
Yes. So as I said, volunteers, we need volunteers in every aspect of our operation, starting from answering phone calls to scheduling furniture drives to helping in mattress recycling. We have a thrift store, furniture thrift store that's called Bargain Bazaar, and that had been a godsend to us, really. That had helped the Furniture Bank stay alive for last 5 years, really. And we are making progress every day. So that is also, we have plans to expand that also and do other stores. So we need help in Bargain Bazaar. We need help in helping families that are coming to the Furniture Bank to help them select furniture so that Furniture Bank does not have to use an employee time to do that assistance to help families select.
Very good. Well, we are running out of time, so let me just let you give the phone number people can call and the website of the
So
Houston
the
Furniture.
phone number is 713-842-9771, and the website is houstonfurniturebank.org.
Very good.
Houston Furniture Bank, it would be very easy.
Very, very good. Well, you know about great things, even now, Ole, from the old days. You threw me a curve there. I didn't know you were doing all this new stuff.
Well, just one more thing I want to add, if you can.
Just a quickie.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so what I was saying is all this program that we are doing is focused to create employment for people that are coming out of the prison. So with the people coming out of prison would have their first job opportunities at the Furniture Bank.
Very good. Well, thanks so much, Ole. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
And thank you, the viewer, for being with us on this edition of Volunteer Journal. See you next time.